How's it going, everybody? I am joined by my lovely boyfriend,
Hello.
Whom I have dragged away from Tomodachi Life. What's the subtitle of it? Living the Dream?
Living the dream.
Yeah.
I'm no longer living the dream.
I've only dragged you away for 15 minutes, and I got it for you anyway.
That's true. I also don't know what's going on at all.
So, what's going on is, today, NetEase revealed the season trailer for Marvel Rivals Season 8, revealing both the characters that are going to be in it. And it's this cool animated trailer, and I wanted to show it to you and get your thoughts on it, on the visual design of the trailer, on the visual design of the characters in it, and also show you the character that's debuting in the first half of Season 8, which we'll get to in a minute. So, are you ready to watch this?
I suppose so.
All right, here we go.
Chrono anomaly located. Moving in.
Got a guess?
Target identified.
The Flash. No.
Not exactly a warm welcome, Nueva York.
Not Cyclops.
Mm-hmm.
They needed more X-Men.
Yeah, there were only like 8 of them already in the game.
Yeah, but like none of the not very many of the classics, you know, like Beast, Cyclops. Phoenix is there, but we haven't done her episode yet.
True. Soon.
My boy, Nightcrawler.
Oh, I want Nightcrawler so bad.
Ooh, that's a cool break in the style.
Threat neutralized.
What a bold move to be like, yes, let's have a dragon picking their nose as the final bit.
So the 2 characters that are coming in Season 8 are Cyclops and Devil Dinosaur, who I know jack all about.
Yeah.
Except that he's had a cartoon with Moon Girl called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur that was apparently pretty good, but I haven't seen it.
They're really hot in comics right now.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur?
Yeah, with
Really?
Miss Marvel. I haven't read any of it, but there was two of the selling titles for young adult.
Interesting.
I didn't know Devil Dinosaur was like a guy. Like you said, a guy like the dinosaur was a person.
Oh.
And I was just like, what? I thought the Moon Girl thing was a girl, the Devil Dinosaur. Now I'm all confused.
Yeah, Devil Dinosaur is going to be the playable character at the start of Season 8, so in a couple of days. And he'll have Moon Girl's disembodied voice because there are age rating things about shooting a little girl with Punisher's gun.
Oh no. They couldn't just have her riding the dinosaur and then the dinosaur beefs it and she just vanishes from the field, you know?
I guess not.
That's what I would have done. Because honestly, if you're looking at a small girl and a literal dinosaur, I think the dinosaur is the bigger threat in this one. Even if there are the other way, you know.
Oh, when do you see the gameplay video for Devil Dinosaur? It's something. All right, so...
Because I guess they solved that with Penny by just aging her up from her movie version, which I think they aged down anyway, so...
Into the Spider-Verse Penny is about the correct age for comics Penny.
A teenager?
Yeah.
Huh. So they just aged her up for the video game to avoid that situation.
Yeah.
Weird. Because I'm thinking they could have just done it again. It is the future. What do I know? Let's see. One thing I was looking at from the get-go is the scenes are really muted in the city. And not just like everything's desaturated muted, like that opening shot before the robots show up. That's just like gross looking. Like this is like really ugly, like yellow. You know, like it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't not spark joy.
Which is good because that's the point.
Like, the only thing really with, like, vivid color is sort of like that pale color of the Alchemex logo glowing like a beacon at the top. And that's not even really that friendly because it's so sterile. It's a really good color palette for what they're trying to tell with the story.
Yeah.
Without, like, having to go into any city history or anything. It's just, like, tall, dark, oppressive, puke colors. Let's go. Yeah. Which also, when they get to the robot scene in the next one, means, like, that red's going to be, like, you know, it's going to be a focal color at this point because it's the most saturated, bright thing in the whole scene. There's a bit of blue as a bit more of a saturated color, so we don't feel like everything is just kind of colorless, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So the blue situates it as a real environment and not just a whole thing. You know, like when movies got really lazy when they first got, like, some of the digital color grading, and they're just like, make everything blue. Make everything piss filter.
God, the video game piss filter is still a stain on gaming history.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what Resident Evil 5 Remake looks like without the piss filter.
I feel like it was probably worse in games because at least like there was contrast in the values for most films because they were either a combination of, because we didn't really have digital filming just yet, but they could do digital like edits. So a lot of it was at least filmed on film, which gave it at least some contrast in lights and darks and color that was then, like, filtered later. Mm-hmm. Whereas video games didn't really have that advantage. They were, like, the color of the texture or whatever they did it. Or they just put, like, a grain filter or whatever over the whole camera, and that colors everything in the scene really flat. Because it just wasn't that advanced color lighting for early games. And so, yeah. Not that you can't make anything yellow, just use it selectively and with purpose. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the rules when something's overused. It's like, at that point, use it selectively and with purpose. It was definitely in a lot of films and a lot of stories and a lot of scenes where it did not need to be yellow or all blue. Like, oh gosh, what's the one Superman movie that's just all blue? Like, they suck the color out of the whole film.
Man of Steel?
Yeah, that's one of the ones. And it's just like, I don't remember if the movie's even good or not. I just remember, like, the color stills are just so boring to look at.
That's the movie where Pa Kent tells Superman he should have let a bus full of kids die to protect his secrets. So, no, the movie's not good.
All right, so the movie's not good, and the color grading is also shit.
Yep.
Yay! But this has a good color, because they always do really good with this. You even get a little bit of, like, the light reflecting off of things. Like, especially it's kind of neat, mostly on the inside of the robot's armor pieces. And a little bit of the outside. So it gives us kind of like this, like, little danger rim glow. They're very unfriendly looking, and there's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Very, like, fascist army marching forward. Alright, should we look ahead? I like that effect quite a lot because it's really fast. So it's like color, and then you see, like, everyone just vaporize. Actually, the whole color palette is very blue, yellow. There's like a little bit of green, but it's like very primary color, just desaturating the heck out of the other two colors, and red's kind of like the little singing color in here, and then yellow for the gunfire. Which when they're doing color keys for these kind of animations, where they take basically a screenshot of, like, from shot to shot. So they'd have, like, one of the robots, one of him, but none of the animation part. And someone will color it with what they think the color should be by the final animation. They'll tweak them sometimes, but they're usually pretty close. You can find them for films pretty often, especially animated films. But it seems like they're kind of using, like, red as, like, Cyclops key color. And the robots themselves with the eyes, but, like, the gunfire is all yellows. So you can kind of have a very easy way to tell who's doing what, even though it's a very chaotic scene. Mm-hmm. The water's also a nice touch, too. But, you know, when you're doing animation and you can throw, like, some elemental thing, like dust, water, that just, like, a little bit of frosting on, like, a great scene. Makes stuff gritty. All right, move forward.
No comments on Cyclops' design?
I guess you did want me to comment on his character design. They really did change the eyepiece, and it's kind of cool. Because I think his other eyepiece, because of the time it was made, when those types of, like, shade glasses were a little more common, like, it just kind of dates the character a bit to the time period his character debuted. This is a nice modernization. And I think a lot of them have flipped back and forth of like he wears a specialized helmet for like battles, but then he wears just like regular sunglasses otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's supposed to make sense because I think the premise, if I remember correctly, was he had like a head injury or some other thing that he used to be able to control his powers, but now they're just like laser eyes 24/7.
Correct. The deal is that Ruby blocks his eye lasers and shuts off his powers, so his glasses are ruby.
Yeah, you just think if it was just regular sunglasses, they'd still be like glowing red behind them, like
Terminator.
But they just kind of politely ignore that for the sake of just being a little cool, which, you know, it's fantasy superhero stuff. You don't have to make it realistic. There's kind of a collar here too on the side of his neck, like a little popped collar. There might be a better view of it later, but they kind of went with like kind of what feels very classic to me, because just like the bodysuit, gloves, yellow, keeping everything kind of tight and that kind of iconic look. There is kind of an arm stripe down here though. That's kind of nice. There's like a yellow stripe on the arm that's in the background that you can see distinctly.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of cool because I think I've talked about character design in a lot of our videos leading to motion or animation. This is a really great example of it because it really pulls out the shape of the arm muscles, even in that very dim, blurry, in the background foreshortened pose. That's cool. Should we let go on until we get a little closer or a different shot? Well, these yellows are different. I'm going to jump back like 10 seconds to, I think, about here. And then when this explosion happens, pause about here. There we go. Because these yellows are very different from the yellows in the opening scene. These are much warmer. There's some red in it. It has some warmth to it. Because then we can get like her silhouette, but we don't want like gross, dismal anymore. She's like a hopeful character, like a character we want to protect.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring some of that warmth back into the character, which is also fiery because an explosion just happened. But I kind of wanted to point that out because they're both very dull yellows from this one in the opening scene, but the character of them is a little different. And I think too they're like pulling a little bit of orange on the outside. It's kind of nice. They could be playing a little bit too with the way color falls off in photography and film, because I think it's like reds that fall off really, really fast, and that's where you get sort of those like chromatic edges on some images, where the edge of it appears to have like a bit of a like vibrant rainbow something there, but it's just on the edge of things. And sometimes when they're doing like digital stuff, like this is digitally animated, they'll try to replicate some of that softer look, especially in like this spark where you see like there's a blue on top of the spark and then a red on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to replicate some of that to give it like that softer kind of film analog look to make it, because if you do all digital, things can be very beautiful, but they almost are too clean. And so they try to bring in some of the, like that's an artifact of light being caught on film, and film has its own limitations, and that medium has been around for a while, so we're very familiar with it. But to catch like the analog feeling of light, we sometimes will like fake it in a digital medium to get a sense of that real thing. I don't know how else to explain it. It just like feels more real when you use things that happen in reality.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have a stylized style, you need to do some kind of shorthand, or you're going to be, hand rendering each scene for, 30, 50 hours per frame, and that's just not feasible.
Yeah.
So, you're not going to do hyper realism in an animation, because that would be insane and probably take your whole life. So you find shorthands like that, and just like using the color to invoke mood. So even this like short moment of like revealing this character, we get a very different feel from the yellows and the blues from the opening shot in the city. All right, we'll go forward.
My mouse will behave. There we go.
You get a reflection in the eyes. You get to see his eyes. Oh, it actually shows that his whole helmet thing is actually transparent all the way through.
Yep.
I thought it was like metal with like a line in the middle. Maybe they're doing the line in the middle as like that's when his powers are activated kind of thing, and maybe it's just like dark otherwise. Also, rain, fire, grit, love it. He also has some of that chromatic stuff on his nose too, where it's kind of going green, red. And I'm not sure what their process is on some of this. There's a lot of post-processing stuff they could do, but that's not the thing that I do, so I don't have insight into that. But it could be like they're adding a filter or they're doing some of it by hand. Because like I used to be really into featurettes. So like I know like some of the Shrek films, which you wouldn't think they would do this, but they would do the shots, render it, and then be like, oh, there's like one hair out of place. Instead of re-rendering everything and trying to figure out how to move one hair in a 3D render, they just have an artist go frame by frame painting that hair out of the character. So some of the stuff on those films are hand painted frame by frame to do these minor fixes after the final film has been kind of rendered. And the way we can do digital animation now is like so many tools and things you can do. I've seen cool stuff in Blender. They just have a lot of tools at their disposal, and they can do quite a lot. Which, like, this is like honestly, the textures on this are so nice. It's like a animated illustration, which we need to see feature films like this. I hope, because it would be so beautiful. We've had a few, like Klaus, and a few others, but I think we could have definitely more. Break out of the mold of the kind of big studios like Disney and so on. I want to mention more, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so many studios that have been like eaten up or bought up. So I'm just like trying to, like, Illumination, Disney, and I don't know if we have another studio in the Western Hemisphere.
DreamWorks?
Illumination? Yeah, I think DreamWorks still does films.
Illumination has been...
Yeah, Illumination is still going. They're doing the Mario movies, and they're doing Despicable Me and Minions and all that. They have a pretty good house style, though, so all their films kind of vaguely resemble each other. I love Blue Sky, but they're out of business. They got bought and shut down. But yeah, I digress. I just think the styles are cool, and I really love animation. I'm really hoping we'll see more stuff like this in full feature films.
Get these guys to make a feature film.
Right? Just give them more money. Just make a Marvel Rivals movie, okay? I don't have to play the game, but I'll go watch the movie. Let's go. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, if you want to pause here a little bit. Oops, they switched the animation. But I'll explain the point that still stands anyway. Because we have like this thing, like a laser beam, and we want to make it look like it's white hot neon. There's a thing that you kind of have to work with, and I might go back a little bit. Can we
walk let me get my mouse working again.
Yeah, I was thinking I want...
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah. Like, that one's a pretty good one. So we're, like, talking about the color of, like, how they're drawing this laser. And in some of the other shots, it's much hotter. But what they're doing is that you can't make something glowing and just go the most saturated and then try to make it even more saturated, because you just run out of, like, room on your color palette. Because you have, like, red. That's saturated could be red. Then you have darker red. Dark, like it gets more desaturated the darker it is, which is not what you really want if you're trying to make something neon. Then your other option is to kind of move over on the color wheel, so move towards orange and yellows, which they're doing. And your last option is to start going into like the pinks and whites to get this sort of light effect. So what they do to make something appear glowing from the inside is they kind of almost light it in reverse. So they have like all these dark colors around the edge of the laser effect. So you have the dark red, but it's still very vibrant, but it's not as bright as it could be. Like, I think if you color picked it, it's probably going to be slightly off from the like peak saturation. The other thing is like they're going to use the yellows. Yellow is very high key bright, and then they have white. And this one, it actually fades out quite fast to a darker orange. Like, this is pretty dark and not as saturated as it could be. So you can make things appear glowy and brighter by using desaturated and white a little bit more in the palette. And so some of the other shots where you see that laser flying around, you'll see like the middle is easier, like a bright pink or a white, to kind of get that to look like it's glowing. And then since everything else in the scenes are so dark, I think some of the brighter colors have been actually his skin tone. quite a lot because they're not really pulling a lot of light into a suit that you would think would happen when a giant laser beam flies out of your face.
Technically, it's not a laser beam. It's a portal to the punch dimension. I'm not kidding. There have been a couple retcons about Cyclops' powers over the years, but one of the more enduring ones is that his eyes aren't emitting lasers. They're opening a portal to a dimension of pure kinetic force, and that manifests as red blasts out of his eyes. Sometimes they retcon it to be like he's solar powered, but I think the punch dimension is objectively the funniest one, and it's what they're going with in Marvel Rivals.
That's fun. But I just was pointing out, like, at least you would presume this seems to like it emits light in some way, even though if it is a portal or a laser or whatever it might be. I always interpret it as lasers, but I grew up on like the cartoon series from Early Morning Cartoons, the OG one. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it was like...
Oh, it's always drawn and animated like lasers. So that is an understandable mistake because you are a sane person and wouldn't intuit the existence of the punch dimension.
Oh, yeah. I'll leave that to the writers to come up with that crazy shit. All right. So they're going to switch that style, which they did in one of the other videos, too, where they switched to more of a hand-drawn, hand-animated style to have what's kind of visually and emotionally more of a punch. Because we're kind of all situated, you know, we're used to the style. We see the colors. And we're like, oh, yeah, we know what's happening, right? It's going to be like this color blue, and he's going to look this style. Then it's like, whatcham, black and white, comic book, you know, hand-drawn moving sketch. And so that has like a really big visual impact due to contrast, because we're just contrasting what we've seen before. So, yeah, let's run it. Boom. So it goes by so fast, too. Like, some of that stuff, like, that's almost a different style, and it's, like, really highly exposed, too. So you have, like, these deep blacks, sketchy, gritty things that are, like, out of focus, pixelated, even. It's good stuff.
Want me to move back a little?
Sure. We could probably walk it through a little frame by frame. I think there's a lot of stuff happening really fast. Gives me a sense of the Castlevania intro. Oops, now you done it. I'm just kind of curious if there's more than one style in it. Because they do play around with some of the colors quite a lot, too. And then close-ups. Chaotic. But they are keeping things pretty clear, too. Like, you get a shot of him picking up the girl, going in camera, coming back out. And then they're using line. Because now the laser beam is like this zigzag, or the punch dimension beam is this laser zigzag. And because they don't want things to be too harsh on your eyes, it's not really bright white. It's a very mid color orange. And then they really fade out like kind of the bottom here too, where it's kind of dark red. And there's like, this is, I think, actually part of the beam effect, this dark red. But they don't want you to look there, right? You're supposed to feel like you're in front of them, or one of the robot's perspectives, as like, and this is like highly exaggerated too, but in animation you can over exaggerate to kind of punch up the motion, which is pretty standard. So the pose actually, it still looks really good, but by making the leg longer, it makes it feel like he's pushing harder or is more flexible, or whatever your animation style is, because you can make things seem heavier or lighter or slower, stretchier, just depending on how you do the timings with animation. I can't explain that part really well, because again, not my forte, but I do understand the concept of it. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see him yell to the heavens. Also, bonus points to the VA. That's a fantastic scream.
Yeah.
Just, ah! And then let's look at the color on this end scene. Oh, I got the logo in there a bit. That's pretty nice too. Alright, so the color here, because we have almost like this like holy beam of white light, even though it's sort of like a defeat thing, but pulled all the color out of it in like this. Obviously the scene a second ago was like intense orange, intense red, black, dark values, right? Contrast, and then we go back to soft. There's not really black in the scene anymore. It's all medium dark gray, if you know, like I talked before, but there's no like dark black. for value. So that contrast is flattened. When you do stuff where you don't let black be one of the colors in there too, it makes things feel foggy or misty, because when fog or mist or dust or anything like that comes in, it stands in the way of light, and then it makes all the kind of contrastive values flatten quite a lot. We have that yellow again, but I would still wager that this yellow with a bit of warmth in it is not sickly. It's still not friendly, because everything's kind of like blue, green, a little bit yellow, but it's very warm, but it's more of a fiery warm. And so, like, I think really, like, kind of the feeling of this scene is that he is defeated, but there's like a beam of light, so it's kind of saying like he's defeated today, but maybe later he's going to rise again. Because this is a very bright light here. And it's cold light, but it's light in a scene that otherwise doesn't have it. Because it could have just went like doom, right? Keep it all red and yellow and orange in the middle and just have no beam of light. But the beam of light's kind of like that purpose. It's spotlighting where we're supposed to look. And to me, like, feels like it's trying to suggest an idea of like, this is the scene we're watching. We're like all defeated today, but we're gonna jump back in. We're gonna get the MVP this time. And then I think it's just the title crawl after this, right? Oh no, they have the end the post credits scene
with our new buddy.
Oh, because he's getting like a text, essentially. That's kind of and he's in the background too.
Oh, I paused it and you unpaused it. Hang on.
Technical difficulties. He's like, I don't want to do it.
You'll get a better look at him in a moment when we check the other video.
Oh, there's another one?
Yeah, it's. I don't expect you to spend too much time on that one, but it's a gameplay overview, so you can see what he does.
Ah. Yeah, because in here he's kind of like holographic.
Yeah. And does
he have a beard in this one?
Yeah, everybody's speculating he's going to be his shop skin on release, which is him after being in Alchemac's imprisonment for a while.
Huh.
Because the scene we just saw, people are speculating that it's right after he got sucked up and spat out of the time stream when he was at Rogue and Gambit's wedding, which we saw a few seasons ago. And then he got captured by Alchemax, as did Moon Girl. And people are speculating that this is him after being in Alchemac's imprisonment for a while. And hey, Cyclops with a beard would look cool.
Yeah. I'm trying not to pay attention to all the other things on here because I'm like, ooh la la, the ripped pants and like the harness. And it's like, oh my gosh. Some people are going to be very happy when this season comes out. And I was like, I was trying to go to look at Devil Dinosaur too over here because I know you said a different look, but how they're displaying him there with the horns and the big locket like a giant dinosaur dog. Because they're kind of making the implication that she's like kind of phoning in, like, "Hey, Devil Dinosaur, come save me," you know. So I wonder. Oh, I just really don't understand why they didn't just put her on like a little like bubble or something on his back, you know, just keep her safe. And then when you defeat him, like the bubble pops off and she just rolls off screen and fades out of existence. Like a little hamster ball. That's what I would have done. It was like, no children are harmed in the making, just severely traumatized.
He respawns exactly as long as it takes her to roll back to the spawn room.
You can roll around in your little hamster ball while you wait for yourself to respawn. See, missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
But I understand why they did it. And yeah, you just be giant dinosaur. Who wouldn't want to do that? Alright, so you said now there's another video?
Yeah, just let me get my mouse behaving again.
Yeah, I use one of those weird trackball mice. Thumbs of steel.
Alright, so there he is.
How did he turn all cute all of a sudden? I like the other one better.
Come on,
The
behave.
battle. Yeah, it's like the kind of like the eyes feel softer, but maybe it's just because it was far away. But it feels a little different. It's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Vanguard.
To the surprise of absolutely no one, Devil Dinosaur is a tank. And he looks to be an interesting one. Let me know when I should go.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to comment much on the design. So, like, there's not much going on just yet. And it wasn't his 3D model, which is what I was kind of going to go for anyway.
Do your thing, Double D. Low growth got your back.
Laser Lizard.
It's Godzuki.
I had no idea Devil Dinosaur could do lasers until I saw this video.
I didn't know that either. He's basically just a little kaiju.
Yep. He's met Godzilla canonically. He his gimmicks are the laser. He inflicts bleed with all his attacks, and he can grab you with his teeth and slam you around and throw you.
Shake you around like a rag doll.
Yep. Like so.
Just yeets the Hulk.
Yep.
It's like, we have a Hulk. Well, we have a Devil Dinosaur. This would probably be a good one to actually comment on his design, though. Well, maybe after he's done sneezing. There we go. That's decent enough. So I was trying to look at what they did a little bit as far as like why or how or what they would design for him. So I think, like, if I remember, I think basic design is mostly like Tyrannosaurus Rex. So they've kind of tunified some things, like the muzzle is way bulkier and rounder, but not in a cute way, but just in a big kind of chompy way. The teeth are oversized. He kind of has a little middle bite too. He has like a gap between his two front teeth. It's kind of adorable. I think what's neat too is to imply a lot of scales, but not actually model all of them. I think he has like a few on his nose and his forehead, a few on the top of his arm, and then a few down his leg. But the rest of them are baked in texture, so they don't actually pop out or have any kind of topography to them, which I think is a nice bit of layering so that all those scales don't just like overwhelm the whole design.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since, you know, he's going to be moving around a lot. He has cankles, which are adorable. Then has a bunch of spikes along his back, which they call them double dinosaurs, so they have like the front-facing horns. He's kind of like a mix between a real animal and a fantasy animal. But like the dinosaur toy you saw in the toy store that you wanted.
Yeah.
He's pretty much that. He even has little horns on the tops of his eyebrows and even underneath the eyes too. Is a bit of jutting out scales.
Yeah, that's very dragon.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was kind of thinking too. It's like fantasy dragon, where you bulk out the shape, which you can base on snakes or other lizards and things. That some of them have similar designs, but there is kind of like a dragon-like look there. I do like the amount of weight they have in the whole body, because like I think like the head and the jaw are super thick, and the legs are super thick, and I think the arms are thick, but not in the same way that the head and the legs are.
The arms are thick for people who have internalized the teeny tiny Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
Mm-hmm. So he has teeny arms, but they are pretty. I think they're pretty muscular. I think that's what it's really I'm seeing here, because you can see the muscle groups in the arms, which is kind of fun. And then kind of like the bone that kind of goes down through the abdomen that a lot of dinosaurs or lizard drawings will have. And the rest of it's just kind of like, since he is just a skin and bone animal, the rest of it's just like a lot of surfacing. Like there's like veins in the neck, and kind of the way the thing's modeled to show the jawbone is super wide. Little wrinkles in the skin near his ankle. There's a lot of little sweet textures that make him just feel very goobery. At least in my opinion. Color scheme is pretty straightforward. He's red, but it's a little dull. Just a little brighter in certain areas, like on the face. There's some more brightness. Very pale pink peachy abdomen, so it's just a lighter version of the color he already is, and then dark red versions for all the spots. And the gray is very, very warm too, very warm tone. They don't really want a lot of contrast for him because they're just gonna put the collar and like I think the teeth are more contrasting just by being different. This is fine. I think keep it simple so he kind of is one big bulky shape, nothing to really separate a lot of stuff. The collar's cute, has some moons on the back. Reminds me of like kind of Sailor Moon or Card Captor kind of style, which I think fits with who the owner is supposed to be.
I know nothing about Moon Girl, so
Well, it's
beats me.
a moon girl,
Yeah,
Sailor
true.
Moon. You know, they're borrowing from the same inspiration. So it's like Sailor Moon if your familiar animal was a devil dinosaur. Because who wouldn't want that? Yeah, it's nicely modeled and cute. I think even if I remember right, the heart gem is like kind of like sparkly gemstone looking crystal, if I remember right. But yeah, I thought this was a good shot to pause on and actually talk about his design. And other than that, we'll just move forward. Oh, was that the end?
Yep.
Dang, I could have got him right before he like opened his cute little eyes, because if I can get it right there. Oh, I missed it by one. That one. He has anime eyes.
Yep.
Oh, and I like the tail curl. But yeah, that was going to be a really interesting character to see people play. Can't wait till he hangs out with Jeff. If we get some more animals, it could just be an all-animal team.
Well, we've got 3 if you count Rocket Raccoon, two healers and a tank. We just need 2 DPS and another tank.
The healers could just keep the tank alive.
What was I gonna say? I realized a little bit ago after I'd seen all this stuff and seen this video that the 18 versus 18 mode is gonna be absolutely bonkers chaotic when he releases for like a week and a half.
I just noticed he had a little icon down here too, from a side profile with the collar and everything. How cute!
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really fun. I would love to see what iterations they did for his character, though, because it's one of those things where, like, there's probably not a lot to change, and clearly they made him rounder and more friendlier, and, like, it's kind of like, it's almost like they took all the Moon Girl, like, cutesiness that they couldn't have Moon Girl in the game, and then they gave it to Devil Dinosaur. Little bit. Not entirely, but a little bit kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's gonna be all round and cute and sparkly eyes. Yeah, have fun. Eat your heart out.
Yeah. Well, that's the Season 8 trailer and Devil Dinosaur. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to let Heiko get back to Tomodachi Life.
Yay!
Thanks for watching, everybody.
I'm going to make my blorbos.
Bye-bye.
Bye.